All right, Shalom. This is Ahara One, Ban Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I'm going to go into Matthews 22 and 1. Actually, there's a few verses, man. I just want to vibe in the spirit, man. See where it takes me. So this is Matthew chapter 22, verse 1. It says, And Yahweh Shai answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, right? So the Lord spake unto these people in parables. Now, what's a parable? A parable is like a mystery. All right. So why does the Lord speak to them in parables? Because some he wants to understand the truth, and some people he don't. Want them to understand the truth. All right. Now it says, so that basically that's what a parable is. A parable is a mystery, or a pathogem, which is a short, quick saying, message from heaven in the earthly realm. A mystery. All right, or encrypted statement. Now it says, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. Now the marriage that Yahweh set up for Yahushua, that's his son. And the marriage is between the husband, which would be Yahushua, and also the woman, the wife, which would be the children of Israel. All right, really the hopeful elect. All right, but so that's the marriage that the Lord set up, which is the first resurrection, to marry Yahushua unto the children of Israel through salvation. All right. Now, so Yahweh set this marriage up. Now, what's marriage? Is to be in contract with each other, to be in a covenant. All right, just like with a man and a woman, what consummates the marriage is sex. So with this, what consummates our marriage to Yahweh Shai is going to be the day of salvation, when he gives us new bodies. All right, when he puts his laws into our inward parts. Now, so let me get this real quick. Jeremiah 6 and 2. This is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So the daughter of Zion, and we're called the daughter of Zion today. And the Lord has likened us to a comely and delicate woman. All right. But the Lord took away our delicateness and our comeliness, which would be our beauty. But now he's giving that beauty back to us. He said, put on thy beautiful garments. So, all right. So he said calmly and delicateness. Now he's giving our delicateness back to us, man. All right. So we became hurtful and wicked and dirty. And now the Lord is cleansing us through his spirit, covering us under the covering of Yahweh Shai, to be forgiven and, and saved. If you're not under that covering, then you're walking naked. You're walking ashamed before Yahweh. You're walking either covered under these idols or these heathens, or you're walking just nakedly, man, meaning ashamed, in a shameful way, foolish, exposed. All right. So the Lord has likened us into a comely and delicate woman. Now, a woman is what? A servant. So that's why he called us his woman. We're like his what? His servant. That's what the word woman means. The women are supposed to serve us, and we're supposed to serve Yahweh Shai. That's how it goes. He's in us, the women, the men, the children, Yahweh Shai, and the angels are going to serve and worship Yahweh. All right. So that's dealing with the marriage. That's why he's our husband. All right. Now let me get Jeremiah 3 and 14. This is Jeremiah 3 and 14. Yeah, I'm gonna just start from that one. It says, "Turn, O backsliding children, say if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai." Now to turn, it means to what? Repent. All right, to turn back to Yahweh, the ways of old, the ways that were taught to us of old, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what Abraham did, right? And through faith and through his sacrifice. What Moses did, following the laws as a schoolmaster, right? Making that our lifestyle. All right, and what Yahushua did, right, and the disciples, was to speak in the testimony of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in preparation for the last days. All right, and tell the testimony of the cross of Yahushua and sacrifice that he did. So that's to turn back, man, to keep the laws the best of your ability, to worship and praise Yahweh and his son Yahushua. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you. I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. So the Lord said he's married unto us. All right. That's what it means. He's married unto us. He's dedicated to us. He's not dealing with any other nation. Vocab, Dr. Eden. The Lord is not dealing with any other nations. It says why? It says, I will give you pastors according to mine heart. All right. So those pastors that's going to be teaching in these last days are going to have the mind of Yahweh Shai in their hearts, calling out Abba Father, the spirit of Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's what's called a soul. You know, calling out Abba Father, man. So he's married unto us. All right. He said Zion. And before that, he said he'll liken the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. And now right here, he's saying he's married to Zion. All right. And Zion just means mount or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. A foundation. All right, this is what's that? Let me get Hosea 2 and 18. This is Hosea 2 and 18. It says, and in that day will I make a covenant for them. Oh, that's not it. Ooh. There you go. I wrote the wrong one now. This is Hosea 2 and 6. Verse 2. It says, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight. So the Lord denounced us, right, as a nation, as his wife, and her adulteries from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And the Lord did that. He slayed us with thirst. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And now the Lord said, the hopeful elect are going to drink and not be thirsty. All right. I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother, right, their mother, our ancestors, have played the harlot. She that conceived them have done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers. It's crazy, man. Then the lovers will be these other nations and the idols. And that's what our people have done. That give me my bread and my water and my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. So these people believed in what they see and not what they can't see. They believed in these nations, These nations were rich, they would follow after that. That's why the scriptures call the children of Israel wild grapes. All right. It says, I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms, man. And whoredoms represents adultery, idolatry. Our people worshiping other idols. It says, for their mother have played the harlot. She that conceived them have done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers that give me my bread and my water and my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns and make a wall. It's crazy, right? So there were thorns in the way. And thorns are something hard to get through. All right. So trying to find that path back to the tree of life, the Lord hedged up thorns in that way. All right. He make a clear path for some people. Some people he made what? He made the path straight to them. All right. Now it says, where was that? All right, so he built a wall that she shall not find her paths, man. So, what's that? Romans chapter 11, where it says, David said, let their table be made a snare, all right, and a trap and a recompense unto them. So when they sit down and try to read his word, they won't be able to get it. And they'll be led by their own understanding about these nations, man. All right. Selecting. Bear with me, I'm just looking up a scripture real quick. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna get this real fast. It says, and she shall follow after her lovers. And that's what our people have done as part of the curses, even in all up to Deuteronomy 28. All right, and that's what the Lord going to deliver us from, the curses that we have under Esau. All right. That's the punctuation, man, to where we went through all those kingdoms in different bondage, but the end result, the end is Esau. All right, Esau is the end of the world. Um, but she shall not overtake them, and she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. All right, so you say you're going to return unto your first husband, which would be Yahushua. All right, Yahweh. All right. And it says, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. All right, so our people were preparing all these things for Baal, just like today in the churches and the mosque and the Catholicism, Christianity. All right, they wear them golden crosses and wooden stones, worshiping cobblestones, all kind of shit, man. All this gold and silver, the work of men's hands. All right, so check this out. It says, therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And that's physical and spiritual. All right, so the Lord took away the wine, the deep things of the scriptures. All right, and he left us naked. And if you're naked, you're gonna wind up putting on the coverings of these nations. All right, because to be naked is to be what? Without a body. It means to be what? If the soul doesn't have a body, which would be the spirit, then it's naked. So if you're spiritually naked, then you don't have a covering. All right, you're just a human being walking around without a spiritual covering. And these idiots, they put on the coverings of these damn nations, these idols. All right, so now I'm gonna get back to the point. So this is Matthew 22:2. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son. All right, and a marriage is the marriage between Yahushua and the children of Israel. All right, that new covenant. Matter of fact, let me get Jeremiah 31:31. That's what that was. All right, this is Jeremiah 31:31. And it says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right, so that's the northern and southern kingdom. First of all, he got to bring those two nations back together. All right, and he taught Judah and Benjamin when he was on the scene, and he said, I have sheep that are not of this fold. He was talking about the northern tribe. And now today, the northern tribe is being taught, and the southern kingdom, through the what? The unicorn. All right, the YouTube, or the internet. And out there on the highways and byways. That's the point. All right, so his word is going out. The line is being stretched out around the world. So that's the covenant. That covenant is that marriage that he's talking about. All right, that's the marriage. That's the day of salvation. Now it says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. All right, that law was written on stone. All right, with Moses and Aaron. It says, which my covenant they break. So our people broke that covenant. although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahweh Shai. All right, so he was a husband unto us. All right, so um uh verse 33, it says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. All right, so that's that marriage, man. I'm gonna get the definition of the word marriage real quick, or covenant. Jeremiah 31, 31. All right, it says, behold, the days come. That's that, right? The covenant. Let me get that real quick. Covenant. It'd be H1, it'd be H1285. It says covenant, a compact, a pact or a pledge, an alliance, excuse me, between men, between God and man, alliance, a friendship, covenant, divine ordinance with signs of or pledges, man. All right, so covenant making, covenant keeping. So he gave us the promise, the pledge, and he signified it with miracles. All right, when he was on the scene, and even today he's signifying it with his prophecies and the deliverance, and he's going to confirm it with the deliverance of the hopeful elect. And if you read Song of Solomon, chapter 5, it speaks about the love Solomon had for the church, the called out ones. All right, so he's always been married unto us, because Solomon was Yahweh. All right, bear me one moment. All right, so I'm gonna get back to Matthew 22 and 2. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. All right, now I want to get Revelations 19 and 6. This is Revelations 19 verse 6. And it says, there we go. This is Revelation 19 verse 6. And it says, I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunders, saying, Hallelujah, meaning all praises, for Yahweh power, omnipotent, reigneth, man. All right, meaning omnipotent, meaning he's omnipresent. All right. And it says, voice of many waters, and that waters represent, like you hear a trumpet when it vibrates or echoes, what you would call acoustic sound or echo. All right. Or reverberation, vibrating of the sound. So that's why his voice is like many waters, like the waves of the sea. All right, crashing. It says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. All right. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready. And that's the focus. And that's the the promise that the Lord was going to make the his wife ready, his servants. All right, his hopeful elect ready. And how is he preparing us? Through the scriptures, man. All right. keeping the laws to the best of our ability, doing the work, praying, believing, being brotherly to one another, the ones that cross your path. All right. These things, teaching the proper doctrine, the prophecies, being occupied in prophecies, looking for his return. These things prepare us. All right. Putting on the whole armor of the Lord, that you may be able to withstand all the wiles of Satan. Building your foundation upon your house, so when the winds do come, we won't fall. Being stepping into the affliction so we can be purified, stepping into the fire so we'll be purified through the affliction, man, be made pure as strong as gold. All right. So that's making ourselves ready. And the way you do that is by what? Reading. You say, blessed is he that readeth, and they, the women, children, and the men that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, because the time is at hand. All right. Now, what time? It says right here. Revelations 19:6 or 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage, and that's why scriptures say, kiss the son lest he be angry and you perish from the way. All right, that's what you mean by kiss, to honor him. All right, give charity. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready. And that's the day of salvation. And we in those days now, because you can tell through the prophecies. All right, and when he finally shows up, and according to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, all eyes going to see it. All right, and they're going to realize that the sun of righteousness never shined upon them. And so they weren't able to grow. And they won't have any fruit, edible or nourishing for the harvest. So this is verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints, man. So, and ultimately, that's talking about what? That fine linen is the new bodies, all right? Being made white, being made pure, completely righteous, man. All right, so teaching and doing the best that you can to the best of your abilities. He said our righteousness is as filthy rags, but someday He's giving us beautiful garments. All right. So we're seeking a reward. And when we get to the kingdom, Yahweh Ratazah, in that number, we get to the kingdom, He got bodies waiting for us, but He going to give us fine linen, arrayed in white and fine linen, man. That's them bodies. All right. And He also said, many shall be made white and tried. So what? Purified. As what? Virgins. But we're still in this flesh. So this flesh got to be made perfect. And when He gives us those garments, which is His covering first, the spirit, and then secondly, it's those bodies. All right. It says, and He saith unto me, right blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. All right. So the supper, the pre-supper before the marriage or whatever, the banquet, to be able to sit down and eat and feast as family. You can be called into the room, but to sit down at the table is another story. Many are called, but few are chosen. To sit down and be able to have access to the righteous foods from heaven, the meat, the oil, the wine, the bread, the manna, that's only given to the children of Israel that have faith that Yahweh will keep His promise and feed us in this wilderness. All right, as He fed us in the wilderness with Moses. So it says, Verse 9, and he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called, but many are called, but few are chosen to sit down and eat. All right. To the marriage supper of the Lamb. That Lamb is talking about Yahushua, the ultimate sacrifice. All right. Unspotted lamb, even without broken bones. And he said unto me, these are the true sayings of Yahweh. So it's the truth. All right. So let me get back to here real quick. I think it was 10. Let me get to 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man. So you worship Yahweh, and if Yahushua shows up, we worship Yahushua, man. All right, something like Sakari and them don't want to do. We're going to worship the Father and his Son, man. Just like these nations are going to worship us. All right. They're going to serve us. But we all going to worship Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. All right. And that's just it, man. However the honor goes or the worship goes, we're going to be prostrating, bowing down to Yahushua, and these nations are going to bow down to us. All right. Now, it says, blessed are those that have been called to the marriage supper, man. Why? Because eating of these foods, of the scriptures, eating the whole roll, you'll be built up and nourished. All right. You'll be nourished, strong. All right. And healthy. So it says, let me get Isaiah 62 and 5. This is Isaiah 62. This is Isaiah 62 and 5. It says this. Wow. It says, for as a young man marrieth a virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. And as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy power rejoice over thee. All right. So here's talking about Jerusalem. Now, Yahushua, wow, that's deep. Yahushua is what is going to rejoice over us as he rejoices over his bride. All right. The bride is making itself ready. He's literally going to be happy and joyful over us, man. All right. So that's the marriage. And you can't bring other nations into that. It says, behold, verse 11. 10. Go through the gates. Prepare you the way of the people. See? Cast up the highway. Gather out the stones. Lift up a standard for the people. That's why he say go into the streets, the highways and byways. And lift up a banner. And shake the hand. Right? Make his path straight. And say, hey, this is the way. This is the way. You know, not the world. Go ye this way. So it says, behold, Yahweh hath proclaimed unto the end of the world, say ye to the daughter of Zion, there it goes again, behold, thy salvation cometh. So that's to the daughter of Zion, that's the bride. All right, not you other nations. Behold, his reward is with him, man. So the new bodies, the spiritual power, the glory, the promises, everything in Romans chapter 9 that's given to Israel is all with Yahweh Shai. All right, all in his mind, all in his spirit. The power is with him. Yahweh gave all that to him. All right, taking nothing from Yahweh, but it just gives to his son to give to us, man, the blessings, the kingdom that's been prepared for us from the beginning, from the foundation of the world. Since Yahweh Shai was on the scene talking to Peter and them, it's been prepared for us. All right, especially at the 70 AD. Or the Yahweh Shai went on the cross. Behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. Recompense. Wow. And they, so his recompense, meaning what? His recompense is going to be before him. So scriptures say, what shall I, if it already be kindled? So the Lord is going to kindle a fire in this place. And that's his will for it to be that way. That's what he's saying. All right. So he said, what? He coming not to send peace on the earth, but a sword. You know. Now it says, behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, meaning set apart from you other nations. They're redeemed of Yahweh, meaning brought back. They're going to call us that someday. And people see it now. But in the kingdom, they're really going to see it. On the day of deliverance, they're going to see it. And thou shalt be called, sought out, a city not forsaken. So the Lord is going to seek us out from all the nations, man. A city, and you can't have a city without the citizens. So us being around the four corners of the earth, we're still Jerusalem. We're still, well, we're just a city of wickedness. But when the Lord, now that the Lord is bringing the hopeful elect, having them stand upon their feet, all right, and you believers at home, the women and children, all right, and the ones that aren't able to teach, now he's giving that back to us. Right now he said, well, I'm gonna get you a name and fame in all the places where you were scattered. And he literally cares about us so much that he's seeking us out, man, through all the nooks and crannies of the world, seeking us out through his spirit, right, through the sift, Amos 9 and 8, or chapter 9. All right, the Lord is seeking us out as with a candle, searching for us like a bird, an eagle over her nest. All right, as a shepherd over his sheep that go astray, he's seeking us out, searching for us. And these nations like, yo, what about me? What about me? I'm right here. They're like, nah. So the Lord's gonna seek us out, man. You know, one of a city, two of a household. All right. So he cares about us, man. That's love right there. To come and get us. He said he's gonna send his angels out to gather us. He said, I'll come and get you. I will be with you, thou worm Jacob. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there on that one. Wow, that's deep. All right, let me just get this real quick. So like, Revelation 21 and 2. This is Revelations 21:1. It says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea." All right, so there's no more sea. And he say, what? Why do the people make an uproar? That's the sea and the waves roaring. All right. All right. And he saw a new heaven and a new earth. So that's what the children of Israel being in a heavenly state in righteousness instead of being in wickedness upon the earth and in hell, and Esau ruling. Instead of being the tail, we'll be the head. That's the new heaven and new earth. Because right now we're the tail. And Esau is the head. The earth's been given into the hand of the wicked. So you're going to see a new earth and a new heaven. That earth is going to pass away. Meaning the ways of living. All right. And we'll be exalted, lifted up. According to Psalms 91. He said he's going to set us on high, because we have made the Lord our refuge. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So that's a cut, two-way cut. This Bible is a double-edged sword. So it's cutting you both ways, to where you say that the bride is not talking about the children of Israel. Well, the bride is talking about the children of Israel, because I proved that through the scriptures. And the holy city, New Jerusalem, that's going to be coming down, it said as a bride. And that bride is the daughter of Zion. All right, the foundation stones of Israel, which would be the memorial stones, the 144,000 of the children of Israel, and the 1/3. All right. Now it says, let me get this real quick. All right, this is Isaiah 14:12 or 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. That's hell, right? Brought down to the grave, to the low condition. That's talking about the Edomites, the Illuminati, or they call the elites, the higher ups. See that? It says, "In the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee." That's why it said, "Where a worm dieth not." So it means what? To be consumed. They're going to be completely consumed. And the worms cover thee. Shit. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, man, son of the morning? That's talking about the Illuminati all the way down to America. All right. So the son of the morning is going to be who? Esau. All right. So it said cut down to. It says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, man. So these Edomites have set up America, North America. They went out into space. Well, all that, probably up to about the exosphere. That's about it. But in orbit. But spiritually, they exalted themselves above the stars, and the stars would be the children of Israel. All right, so it's twofold. But the Lord said He gonna what? I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and that happened physically. And it's talking about their pride as well. Obadiah said, "The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee." So all their imaginations and devices and wicked thoughts towards Yahweh and the children of Israel. Because it said what? They wake up in, non-verbatim. It's in the power of their hand. So they think about it upon their bed, and they execute it in the morning. What their thoughts, their wickedness. So the pride of your heart has deceived you, Esau. All right, it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So for all the way from America, rooter to the tutor, from America all the way to Europe, you heathens gonna be brought down, man. They that shall see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness? See that? And the Lord giving us manna in this wilderness. All right, he's that voice guiding us through the wilderness. Saying, no, come this way, go this way, over here, you know. Voice echoing out 2,000 years, reaching out to us. Is this the man, talking about Esau, Edom, so-called white man, that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All right, so they're going to be brought down to a hellish condition upon the earth, man. That's why you get the scripture where it talks about Lazarus and the rich man being you Edomites. And Lazarus represents Jacob. All right, the poor man. But the Lord said, we are really rich, and you nations are really devils. So we're his bride, and we're the servant that's being made white and pure. All right. So I'm gonna get Matthew 22 and 2 so we can see where we were at. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. So you should understand that marriage and his son now. All right, the covenant. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding. All right, he sent forth people like Peter, Paul, all the disciples to the Jews and the Gentiles, meaning Israel. They were sent to Jews to correct them, meaning the circumcision. Israelites that were under that were keeping the law, but not perfectly. Then they have twisted doctrine and ways and morals about them. But they were also sent through Peter with Cornelius, which jumped it off, the teaching to the Gentiles, the Israelites, and then ultimately to Paul. All right, and today we continue in that spirit. So they were bidden, but they didn't listen. So the Lord destroyed them with 70 AD, the cutoff point. And then also in these, but the elect that died in that time, they set their token up today, their investment to they died in hope. That's the difference. The hope for the kingdom, and to be here today and receive the word again and possibly not be harmed. He said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. They killed us 2,000 years ago, but at this time, the Lord might not let them touch us. This is going to be a great deliverance. He said he's going to protect you and your household. Yeah, they're going to be martyrs, but he said he's going to protect you. You're going to be as gold, as water in the weary land, as a shadow in the dark place. A shadow in the desert. All right, so people gonna be able to run to you and be safe. All right. So it says he sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. All right, so I'm gonna get Matthew 13 real quick. This is Matthew's. This is Matthew's 13 and 19. It says, let me see where I'm at. Shit. It's Matthew's 13 and 19. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see what happens. You might not save it. Matthew's 13 and 19. Sheesh. I'm gonna do a lesson on this one later. All right. So I'm gonna do this on part 2. All right. Hey, shalom. Hopefully that's edifying. But my memory on my phone is horrible, and I'm already at 50 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, and I'll do a part 2.